How's it going? Check, check. We're here for the
We're here for
Overland.
the Overland Expo in Flagstaff, Arizona.
Well, but I've got an awful lot to live for. Thank you.
Well, my name is Patrick. This is my wife, Amanda. We are from originally Washington State. We live full-time in either our Nissan Patrol or our 21 Jeep Gladiator. Our Instagram handle is @RuggedDestinations. And I would say what we signify in the industry is just a truly remote traveling family that is finding our way working on the road. I know that a lot of our followers and community that reach out, they say that it's the fact that we're a family living on the road that makes them want to follow. And that's awesome because we set out, like, our ethos is to try to encourage and inspire other families to just get outside. Obviously, not every family is going to want to drive to Prudhoe Bay or to the southern tip of Baja, but if we can do that as a family of four living full time, then I feel like any family can go spend a weekend at a state park.
We chose to leave the typical 9-to-5 lifestyle after kind of chasing after that American dream for years. And then we feel like we got to the point where we'd reached it. Like, we had the house, we had the stuff, we had the kids in the good school, and then we realized that there was still a void. And we couldn't quite figure out what it was, but we spent all of our free time out in nature. And I know that that was when it clicked for us, that we needed to figure out how to do what we loved and turn that into something that was paid.
The most rewarding and challenging part of living on the road has been being a family. It's the same answer. It's rewarding because we get to spend all of our time living together, right? We eat, we work, we sleep all together as a family. That is
Space is limited.
Yeah, that is simultaneously the hardest part of living and working on the road, is being together all the time. Some days you just want to be able to be alone, have some private space. And so I would say something that we've had to figure out is how to know when somebody needs some time. And luckily we're in some beautiful places. And so whether it's one of the boys or Amanda or myself, if we need some time alone, we just know to take off, go take a walk. You can have some solo time and make your way back to camp when you're ready to get back to it. But yeah, getting to raise our children so interconnected together, like always spending our time together, has been probably the hands down most rewarding part of this job.
Choosing our destinations is probably one of the things that drives our family the most crazy, because we are very go with the flow. We kind of take opportunities as they come to us. We found that if we try and structure our lives too much, that all of a sudden it's kind of tunnel vision and you miss all of these really cool opportunities. You miss the opportunity to meet really cool people. So we keep things very open. And I know that does stress out a ton of people, but we've just learned to thrive on going with the flow.
Yeah, well, and I would say that when it comes to picking destinations, we thought when we started this that the whole point was to get to go see places. Like, let's go to Baja so we can see all of these wonderful beaches. Let's go to Alaska so we can see the Arctic Ocean. And along the way, we discovered that it actually isn't really about the places, it's about the people. Because everywhere we've been, whether it's the northern tip or down south, it's always the people that blow us away. They're just so kind, so welcoming. Like, we have shown the boys and we've learned ourselves now that people are universally very kind. They fail safe to just being kind, which is awesome.
Hands down, our favorite place so far is Baja.
For sure. I would say it depends also, though. That's a loaded question because I think favorite place is very dependent on time of year. Because there's places that I would absolutely not go in the winter, and there's places that I absolutely wouldn't go in the summer. I don't think Baja in the summer would be all that fun, or if they had a rainy season, right? Like the rainy season might be, I know they haven't had rain in like 3 years now, but
hot season, just give me a floaty. Just send me up into the water.
Yeah.
I'll survive. It'll be good.
So Amanda and I discovered that we love to spend time outside when we first started dating. We actually started in Amanda's convertible Mustang with all borrowed gear that we would put in the trunk and go camping with. As we, grew together, as we grew in our marriage and in our professional lives, we were able to afford a little bit better equipment. And along the way, we discovered that we also really liked to document our journeys. And I tell people that we tripped and fell and landed in business because we were just having fun documenting our lives. And
the ultimate goal was to give our kids some really epic family videos and pictures to be able to look back on. And with stuff switching over into digital format, we weren't limited to a roll of film anymore. Not the way that I had started my photography journey. So it's with phones and with cameras going digital, it's just incredible to be able to document almost every little minute of their lives.
Totally. Yeah. Well, and it has never been easier to make great content, right? Like phones are so incredibly powerful now. Obviously we use other equipment, but we started creating these storylines of our lives just so that the boys would have something to look back on. And we realized brands started reaching out to us saying, hey, can you do what you're doing for yourself for us? And that was the tripped and fell part. Like we had no idea that you could make money doing this. So being able to live a life that we want, that is our actual desire, and be able to support ourselves doing it is like, I remember being amazed that like that was even a possibility. I didn't even understand how. But yeah, it's luckily we've let our guiding star always be freedom. Like never, whatever business decision we make, it's all based around freedom. So we've passed up opportunities that could have probably meant a lot more money than we currently get to make, but it's because those opportunities would have nailed us down somewhere or limited us in ways. And so, we just find that content creation has become like this crazy vehicle that we can use to live a life of intention and be able to support ourselves doing it.
Balancing creativity and authenticity is, it's constant, but I don't know. For me, it's just very natural. Like it's very important that we're authentic because especially with our boys seeing what we do, I think that the value that's there, I want them to see that what we're doing, even though it takes a lot more effort, that it's well worth it. And they've seen the people that we've met and the positive impact that we have made on other people's lives. And it's because we've maintained that authenticity and being able to bring beautiful visuals into it as well. I think for me, it's about making sure that we're setting a really good example, not just for the audience that's seeing our content, but for our kids that are watching our every move.
Yeah. Well, and I would say our brand and the way we've positioned it is entirely based around organic content, meaning nothing staged. The shots that we get, 100% of the shots that we get and post to our channels, our distribution, are all organic shots. Nothing is staged because that's really what earned us our stripes, right? Like our community expects that of us. Our clients expect that of us. The only stuff that we do that isn't truly organic is our commercial work. So we will have clients who approach us and they want a specific tailored ad spot for a specific product under a specific use case. And that would be the only time that we would essentially stage anything, right?
But it's still very authentic the way that we do it. We make sure that it's not going to be out of place.
We would never compromise. We would never compromise our authenticity, even for our corporate or our commercial work. That's something that the clients we have because they like who we are as people, and I would never want to change who we are to fit the mold of a client. All of our camera equipment is all Sony, purely because we spent way too much money on lenses and we're not willing to change systems at this point. We have 3 camera bodies that we travel with, about 7 lenses, a variety of different rigging for all of the cameras. And then I would say probably the biggest game changer for working remote has been a huge lithium power system. All of those bodies require batteries. All of our monitors, our computers for editing, all require an immense amount of power. So being able to store a ton of power and renew it through solar or through, a DC to DC charger when we're driving really is that was the answer for being able to do what we do for work completely remotely. We were shooting client pieces on beaches in Baja, totally remote, no fishing village remote. And we were able to do that because we had the power to be able to recharge and run everything. I met the Thret team at SEMA 24, I think.
No, 23.
23. I met the Thret team at SEMA 2023. And just going to shows in general as a creative and as an athlete or whatever you want to call what we do has proven to be super beneficial, because the people who want to find people like us are all in one location, right? So going to SEMA has been very valuable, and I got to meet Pablo and the rest of the Thret team there. We had a discussion. I was able to show them some of our work, and it kind of just sparked off. I know at the time the Thret brand was fairly new, and so they were in a spot where they desperately needed distribution. They needed representation in the community. And actually, Amanda and I have found that brands in that spot are like the perfect people that we love to work with, because they're creative, they're hungry, they're gritty, and they're willing to take some chances. And so it gives us the freedom to create in a way that we feel like really aligns with who we are as a brand. Our brand is built on rugged destinations, right? So part of why we travel the way we do is because we don't want to live in an RV. We want it to be slightly uncomfortable. We want to know that we're still experiencing kind of the feel and the emotion and the vibes and the energy of what it means to be outside. So we've been to some on purpose and some on accident. We've been to some wild places that have put every piece of equipment that's on our truck to the test. And the wheels would be, an important part of that. Wheels and tires are the first thing that touch the road for your car. And man, when we did 250 miles in one day with like 100 of them being the Baja 1000 race course. And if that isn't a testament to the equipment on the truck, I don't know what is. Our Nissan and all of its components have proven to be very, very durable. For us as creatives, I think the most important thing, first and foremost, with any brand that we work with, Thret included, would be just the freedom to create the way that we think aligns with our brand. And that's why it's so important for us as professionals working from the road that we're careful about who we align with. And Thret has been the perfect synergy for us, because all the way it's been the freedom to create the way that we want to. Which I think really matters the most.
Dream destinations for us, they're endless, right? There's so many different trails and stuff that aren't even advertised, that aren't huge on social media at this point. But Australia and South Africa are the 2 highest on our list at this point. We really want to do the lap of Australia. I think that's probably going to happen a little bit faster than South Africa, if I had to guess. But yeah, I see me on a beach in Australia.
Yeah. I know a lap of Australia is in our near future, and I think the future for rugged destinations overall, I hope that it means that we get to just keep living the way that we're living. Really, that's all I would want.
Well, and continue to connect with different cultures. I think that was something that we experienced in Baja that was really unexpected, was getting to spend time with the locals and just being just welcomed with open arms and just getting to see a different side of the world, and just to see our boys play with kids that they don't speak English. Our boys don't speak Spanish, but there's just this universal language that they're able to come together and they get to play, and getting to see that, getting to see them talk about that experience and how it's impacted their lives and the trajectory that it's sending them on. I want to continue to travel the world and expose them to different cultures and just see that blossom. Choosing the life of content creation means leaving what we perceive as security. You're going into complete just contract work as opposed to having a 9-to-5 where you think that everything is guaranteed. You know what you're going to get every 2 weeks. So it was terrifying to be able to walk away from all of that security, years of hard work to build ourselves up in our careers. But once we fully committed to the idea, burn the boats. Patrick loves to say that we burn the boats. There's no other option. There's no plan B. Plan A is that we have this goal and we are going to say no to everything that does not further us getting to that goal.
Yeah. This is a subject that I'm like crazy passionate about because of the idea behind, if you have a plan B, plan A will never pan out, is the reality. It just never does. Like plan A for us for years was build great jobs, climb the ladder, make all the money, buy the house, have all the stuff that you're supposed to have. That was plan A. We acquired that because it was plan A. And once we committed wholeheartedly, like once we dove in and said, plan A is now live free, not be under anybody's thumb, and just send it and hope for the best.
And it is a hope. There's no guarantee. We went into it and neither of us knew, like, after 3 months, it might be it.
Yeah.
The bank account might be empty.
Yeah. We totally thought like it was, that lingering thought is always there of like, we might have to just go back and do the thing that we said we don't want to do anymore. But unless we were able to flip that switch and just commit to the idea, the dream, it would have never happened, right? Like we would have never talked ourselves into leaving. So I think the parting words that I would give anyone who has the goal of trying to change their life in any way, it doesn't matter if the way we're choosing to live life is how you want to, or some other way, right? If it's just, hey, I just want to talk my wife into being willing to go camping for two weeks a year. Something that we live by now is that the things that we want are typically very simple, but very challenging. And so for us, like Amanda said, it's just making sure that every little decision that we make throughout the day, week, month, year, all of those decisions lead us toward whatever the dream is. And anything that doesn't lead us toward that, say no. Just don't do it. The reality is any dream requires sacrifice, and we have had to give up so many things that we thought we needed in life. I only own 6 shirts, but that's because I only have room for 6 shirts. So I wear one of those 6 shirts every day of the week. That was a sacrifice that we had to make to live in such a small, compact, unique way. So I guess the parting would be willing to sacrifice. Know that whatever it is you want is totally okay. No one else can tell you what your desires are. And when you jump, that's the hardest part. So if you're willing to just leap off the ledge and hope for the best, I don't know that it's going to work, but I know that you'll hate yourself next year if you don't just jump.